Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be sharing the interview questions which has been asked in the Deloitte for the Power BI consultant role. Okay, so first, in the first scenario, they have given a, let me show you the consolidation tables here. If you can see here, they have given two sets of tables. Okay, so all the order related information in the first table. Okay, and another table also contains the same sort of order related information, and they are expecting consolidation. Okay, they're expecting consolidation table by combining both the tables into one single table. Okay, so they already shared two tables. Based on that, we have to bring another table. If you can see here, we have order related information, product related information, what is the quantity, what is the price, and what is the discount for it. And another table also provided the same sort of information. Okay, let's come back to the Power BI. I have just ingested the same sort of data into the Power BI. If you can see here, if you can see here the country one. Okay, first one I just taken as a country one country table, and another country table also I have taken another sort of data. Okay, so they're expecting us to do a consolidation by combining both the tables into another third table. Okay, so what everyone can do, what everyone could think of is just go ahead and do an append, like taking as a new queries. Okay, let's do a consolidation here. Let's combine the country one and country two. See, country 2 is already selected here. The country 1 could be the another table. If you can go click on that. So it's going to create, obviously, it's going to create a new table. Like this is the appended one. This could be the, let's rename that to consolidation. But the entries, if you can see the data context, okay, here is the order ID, product code, quantity, price, discount. Again, order IDs, product. Actually, if you can see the outcome, what are we expecting? Like is if you have a 5 rows, okay, rows has to impact, not columns has to go on. Okay, that's a main context of an appending approach. Okay, so what we did right now, we perfectly did the appending. Okay, but instead, here if you can see that rows also has been impacted, columns also has been impacted, but that's not a case. If you are doing a appending approach, mostly it could be a rows impacting centric, it cannot be column centric. Okay, so the thing, we just have to clearly understand where the issue is coming into the picture. Okay, let's go back to the data side. Let's observe clearly what exactly the data is. If you can see here, whenever we are performing an so very basic context in appending is we just have to maintain the same naming conventions of the column names. Okay, then only whatever the entries are going to be appended. Okay, so it's going to be perform a stacking approach. It's going to append the table one by one. Okay, if you can see here, order ID, here is order ID, different naming convention. Product ID, here is a product code. Here's a quantity, it's QTY. It's a unit price, it's a price of it. It's a discount, discount is same. Okay, so out of five, four naming conventions are incorrect. Okay, then how the appending is going to work properly? Okay, first of all, we cannot simply go and append the context, we just have to observe the tables. Okay, if you can observe the tables, what it could be doable. So what makes the things go ahead? We just have to configure everything properly. Okay, now let's go to the Power BI. Okay, let's remove the consolidation first. Okay, let me remove the consolidation. So what we have in the country right now, let's see. So whatever the table you're going to take it as, just take one as a reference and make the changes in the second table as well. If you can see, here is a order ID, product ID, quantity, unit price and discount. Okay, let's copy the same and try to populate in the another country table as well. Control C. If you can go here in the country 2 table, what are we having? It's a underscore id. Okay, that's little change over in the naming convention. Let's try to maintain the same naming convention across the tables. That could gives a very good approach, very good outcome for the appending side. It's a product id. Whenever we come to the control, like country 2, it could be product code. Just a very little very minute naming convention changes into it. Okay, and can't we do the, why are we copying only from country 1 to country 2? Why can't we copy country 2 to country 1? Okay, so the thing of the outcome is we just have to maintain the same naming convention. Does not mean that you cannot copy, vice versa or not. Here we have QTY. Let's copy the QTY and try to maintain the same in the country 1 table. Here it's a quantity. Let's maintain control E. Okay, final outcome should be same naming convention across the tables. That's what it is needed. Here it's a unit price. Let's copy this unit price and maintain the same naming convention in the country 2 as well. If you can see here, just a price, control V. And here it's a discount. If you can go and see here, it's also discount. So there is no need of naming convention changes. So finally, we just have maintained the same naming conventions. Okay, now let's perform an appending. Now let's see whether the columns are going to be impacted or rows going to be impacted. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're going to select country 1, whether you're going to select country 2. Okay, let's select country 1, appending. So if you want to create a new table, okay, you have to take the append queries as a new. What is going to happen if I could select append queries directly? Okay, if I would click on the append queries, okay, result is going to be populated in the country 1 table itself. Okay, if you can see here, what should be added? Country 1 is already current, country 2. Let's click on this step. So, same table, data has been impacted. Okay, until if you can see here, previously we have only 7 rows. After adding it, 13 rows it has become. Okay, so whatever the data in the country 2, it's a 6 rows, has been added to the country 1 table itself directly. Okay, the outcome what we are expecting is I don't want that country 1 table to be impacted. Okay, I want a separate table as an outcome. Okay, let me remove it. Let me take append queries as a new. Okay, whenever we gonna click on the append queries as a new, it's going to create a new table, fully new table. If you can see here, let's see like what is going to happen. If you can see here, this is a populated country 1 is the first table, second table could be the country 2. Let's click on OK. If you can see here, new table has been created. As I shown you the previously, it could be 13 entries. Again, it could be 13 entries, but the outcome will be different. Okay, whether it, I mean, if we can perform as a append queries, it's going to append in the same table what we have already created. If we can take append queries new, that is going to create a new table separately with the consolidation of both the data into it. Consolidation. Okay, this is what the outcome the people are expecting. Okay, so that's how the appending is going to work. And let's jump into the questions which has been asked. And if you can see here, the next question. So first question, consolidation appending that has been completed, and quarterly data. Okay, let's come to the quarterly trends. If you can see here, these are product information. Okay, it has been populated throughout the year. So how this product has been performed across the months and across the quarters. Okay, Jan, Feb, March is a Q1. Let's think of it that it's a Q1. Next 3 months would be the Q2. Next 3 months will be Q3, and next 3 months will be the Q4. If that is the case, okay, if you can see here, the quarter one is the sum of Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, and April, May, June is sum of, for this has been summed up and has been showing as a Q2 data, and even same for the Q3 as well. It has been summed up and it has been showing for the as a last 3 months. That's how it has been populated. So now the requirement is we need to show only quarter information. See, this is a product related information, all the products, and I need a, let me see. This is a product, and this is a quarter, and this is a revenue. Okay, so this is how it was previously. These were the previous, what to say, the previous table what the interviewer has been given. This is what the outcome they are expecting as well. Okay, let's see like what to do. Okay, if you can take this as an outcome, how can we able to bring this in this context? Okay, product needed, I need quarter separately, whatever the quarters it is, everything has to be separately, and I need a revenue as well. Okay, I don't want these months to be shown anymore because I just expecting only the quarter data. So what can we do for it? Let's jump back into the Power BI. So I just captured the data. Okay, here is the product performance. If you can see here, I just captured the same data into it. Okay, the product, and what are the months it is, what is the quarters. Okay, what quarter, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, and respective months has been calculated. So now what I don't want very first thing. Okay, we can do in two different approaches. I'll show you like what could be the better approach. Okay, so we need the data to be not in terms of like what to say, in the column centric. If you can see here, this has been, they perform something else captured in this manner. Okay, these are like everything in a descriptive, like everything has been derived based on the quarter, months, and everything. Finally, if you can see here, only one product, quarter is a column, revenue is another column. Only three columns has been giving all the data into it. So how can we able to do that? Okay, let's come back to the Power BI here. If you can see here in the Power Query, we have an approach. Okay, in the transform data we can see whether we can unpivot or not. Okay, so I don't want, if you can click on the product, we can able to unpivot other columns. What is going to happen if you can click on unpivot other columns? Remaining things are going to be populated as a two columns only. If you can see here, this is the product, this is the attribute, this is the value. So whatever the unpivoted columns has been created as a attributes. Okay, but if you can see here, we can see like Jan, Feb, March, quarter. So whatever it is in the column naming convention, that all been captured as a row context. Okay, if you can see here, we can see all the months, all the quarters into it. But what we needed here, we just needed quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four data. If you can see here, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four data. Let's click on OK. See, finally we got it. So finally we just have to rename the context of it. We are here quarter, and this is a revenue. Okay, that's how it has been expecting from our end. Okay, if we going to receive a data, so how are we going to use it in a way that could be needed for the Power BI reporting? Okay, if we all the quarter has been spreading in a multiple columns, that's not it's not a very good impact to represent any sort of visuals into it, because all the quarters has to be shown, has to be needed in a only one column that could be needed. Okay, for that what can be doable? Okay, whatever the data we already have in a spread across all the months and quarter, we just have to do a pivoting or unpivoting for it. Then we can able to get all the data into one column, so that we can able to use wherever it is needed for reporting across the quarter, across the products. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, let's load. So in the same manner, so we can do in this way, or in the same manner we can do like, if you don't want, for example, I don't want months to be shown. Okay, let's remove all the months to it. Okay, these are the months. Let's select all the months. Let's remove it, whichever is not needed for us. Let's remove the months. So anyway, months is not going to be shown, so that's what the requirement it is. Okay, so months is not needed. Let's remove the months. So just select only months. Don't select the quarters, because finally we are going to have a quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four. Again, do the same sort of thing. Okay, so we can able to select these things, and we can able to go transformations, and we can do unpivoting only selected columns. That's going to perform the same. Okay, and again it's a quarter, and this could be revenue. Now let's load the data into it, because once we loaded the data, a question will be a continuation for it. Okay, how could you able to create a revenue contribution for it? Let me show you the questions. So this has been completed, whatever the like appending previously has been completed. This is just like you know doing some unpivoting approach and everything. So if you can see the questions, now quarterly data has been shown, that has been completed. Now there is a one more question has on to it. It's a revenue contribution across the products, how it could be. So let the data load, and then we can able to perform the revenue contribution for it, how it could be doable. Let the data load. So once the data has been loaded, let's see how the data has been loaded in the table view here. So first of all, as we already know that what happened. Yeah, if you can see here, the consolidation, it's a combination of country one and country two product performance. We can see all the product information across the quarters, what revenue it is across all the quarters, so that we can clearly see what and how much revenue has been generated from across the products. Now let's bring the product. This is the product. Here is the revenue, and let's take that as a table. Okay, so I think this is taking a very, so So let me take the values to 100, change the size of it so that we can clearly see what it could be, and even do the same thing for the column headers as well. Instead of 10, let's keep it as 20. Keep this as a bold. So how can we do a contribution for it? Okay, it's a market share, we can call it, or we can call it as a revenue contribution. Okay, so let's take another measure here and let's try to see in a very simple context. Okay, so let me drag one more thing here. Let me put another revenue here. Okay, same thing. We can able to, instead of showing as a, here we can show as a percentage of grand total. Okay, this is going to show to 100 percentage. Okay, so no doubt into it. In a very simple approach, this can be doable. Okay, sometimes, not sometimes, they would specifically ask you to write a DAX query for it to show the revenue contribution or market share. Okay, in a simple manner, we can do it, but expectation would be something different. Okay, let's write the DAX query for it. So how it could be written and everything, we can see it. Let's write the DAX query for it. So first of all, how revenue has to be contributed would be something which I need to explain you in the Excel first. For example, if you can see here, this is all the products, all the quarter related information, everything has been shown here. Okay, so first of all, how can we able to define it? For example, what is the total revenue? Out of total revenue, how much it is? Okay, first of all, we just doesn't know like what is the total for it. Okay, in the Excel, let's see that. If you can see here, this is a sum. 15,365 is the sum of it. Let's keep it somewhere else. Okay, this is a like control V. Let's keep this as a total. And let's do a contribution now. Like how much it has been. For example, in the very basic context, this is to this total. Okay, it's a 4% revenue has been contributing. Okay, if you can drag and drop, it's going to be like, very next cell, D12 by D10. This is D12, it's capturing the D10. This is not the correct way. First of all, revenue has to be fixed. Okay, if you can come to this place, D9 is the value which we are taking in. Let's fix the specific value. Okay, now it's row and column centric. This is a value we have to capture it. Okay, across that, so how much revenue has been contributing across all the products has to be calculated. Let's apply the formula now. Let's drag it. If you can see here, this is how the formula has been. Just give me 1 second. Yep. So this is how each and every product has been. So finally it has been summing up to 100 percentage, which means that it's 15,365 is the total. Okay, so first of all, what we did is we find out the total revenue and then we perform the what is the total revenue, like how much each product has been contributing to the total. Okay, in the same manner, let's jump into the Power BI. Okay, see, we haven't added the quarter. If we can need it, let's add the quarter as well. It's not an issue. Let's add the quarter. Okay, so this is a quarter across all the quarters. Okay, so let's try to minimize the rows and columns. Okay, so now we need revenue contribution. So this is the same thing. It has been populated previously. So it's just a very simple approach, but we are planning to create it based on the specific DAX measure. Let's write a measure for it. The revenue contribution you can call it as, or you can call it as a revenue share percentage, equals to, first of all, we need a total, like, okay, so first of all, what it could be like, I'm just taking a variables here. Okay, and so how it could be sum of revenue needed. Okay, total, it could be fixed. Okay, if I can pick that as a total revenue, that could be shown whatever the revenue it was already. Okay, let's calculate the revenue across all products. So that is what we have done in the Excel as well. Okay, across all products, what is the revenue for it? Okay, on top of it, what is our revenue? Okay, now return. Now let's take where revenue. So revenue, it could be just very sum of that products only. Okay, sum of whatever that specific products, that could be taken as a context. Now let's take the return for it. What could be the return? Whatever we have given in that query, so we just have to do the same sort of thing. Just let's divide the context. So divide the, let's see what it is. It's a revenue to the total. The same thing we have done in the Excel, we are just doing the same sort of thing here into the Power BI as well. Okay, so if you can write and if you can use the variables, all these things into one measure, so the people can clearly understand, okay, you can able to do all those things without having any effort, without using multiple measures into it. So let's see whether it's going to show the same value or not. Oh, it's showing something different value. Let's see what is the issue here. Yeah, if you can see here, let's make that to change. If you can see here, it has been split across a quarter and product. That is the reason it is showing something different value. Okay, let's fix that. Here it's a sum of all product, then all of quarter. So whatever the context, we have a context of product, we have a context of quarter. So both has to be included. Then only we can able to see it. Okay. If you don't have a quarter, let me show you the quarter. Let me remove the quarter here. If you can see here, if we are only having a product context, it's fine to have only product into the all. Okay, we don't need to capture the quarter into it. Okay, whatever the context in the table, so in the same manner we have to maintain the same context for calculating the total as well. So then only we can able to get the required outcome for it. So hope this is understandable to everyone. And these are the questions, and let's see what could be another questions. So revenue contribution has been completed. Let's come back to the contribution. Yeah, this is also completed. And many to many relationship. I cannot create or I cannot replicate the situation right now, but I'll help you understand that how we can able to see if there is a situation of we have a many to many relationship. How can we able to overcome that? Okay, for example, you have a table one having a whatever. So just think of it, and table two also having same sort of way. Okay, just think of it. Okay, so just think of it. If you can map those two tables, it could be definitely tracked as a multi relationship, many to many, because that's how the data has been already populating here. Okay, so what we can do for it? Okay, just imagine in terms of Power BI. So if there is a possibility, we just have to. I mean, many to many relationship is not a very good thing. Okay, it would definitely throw abnormal results into the context that is not needed. So we just have to maintain a table with a unique values into it. Okay, that would be called as a bridge table. Okay, so we just have to create a bridge table for it. Bridge table or a table. So what we do for the bridge table is we have to bring the unique values from this table, and we have to bring the unique values from this table, and finally we just have to maintain a single table with a unique values to it. Okay, let's bring the values from this table first. Just give me 1 second. So just think of bridge table. So we just captured the values from that table and capturing the values from this table. So finally what we have to do is in the like if you are running in the Power BI, you just maintain the values of table 1 and take another variable with the values of another table, like values of table what to say another table 2. Okay, after doing all those things, in the return you just try to maintain a union or a distinct into it. Okay, so that would like in this in the Excel, I'll be just helping you understand that if you can able to delete the distincts and everything, remove duplicates. If you can remove the duplicates, it's going to show very unique values. If you can see here, out of 13, 9 are unique values. This is a table we needed. Okay, even in the bridge, like even in the Power BI also, we just have to maintain same sort of bridge table into it. Then only we can able to remap it. For example, from this is going to be unique now. Okay, from here it could be like one to many in this place, and one to many from this place to this table. Okay, bridge table is going to be the unique table. This could be one relationship, this could be both these two table will be the many relationship. Okay, that's how we have to maintain if you have a many to many relationship. Okay, if I'll get a chance, I'll definitely go through with that. Okay, I'll be taking another for it. Okay, so many to many relationship has been completed. Now DAX for year over year growth. Okay, I cannot. I'll be just going through the same. Okay, for you even year over year growth also. First of all, we need. Let's take one measure directly. Mm, let me write it here itself directly. Let's think of. We have a year over year growth measure. Growth. Just think of your growth percentage needed for you. Okay, first of all, let's take one for current year. It's a sum of revenue. Okay, let's see. And it's for a previous year. So previous year, it's up to our context. Like, what are we going to use this? So let's create a previous year. Like, calculate sum of revenue to the, like, you can use same period last year. Same period last year with a date context. Okay, it's going to create the previous year. So after that, we can able to take that into a return command. So you can able to directly take that to the return. Okay, so in the return, so we can able to specify like this how we can able to write it. So let me delete that. In the return, uh, divide. So anyway, we have to divide the current year minus to the previous year, to the previous year. Okay, if there is any issues comes into the picture, like any infinite values or something like that, so we can able to define 0 as a very safest option. If any abnormal results gonna comes into the picture, 0 will be thrown as an outcome for it. Yeah, let's enter. So this is how the query has to be written. Yeah, that's all. These are the interview questions has been asked in the Deloitte. I'll be covering the SQL questions in the next video. Okay, please subscribe if you like my channel, if you like the content.